Kyrie Jesu Domine, dona eis requiem. Kyrie Jesu Domine.
Alrighty, everybody. Good morning and happy Monday. You'll notice the Sacred Art picture is no longer directly behind me. I'm going to be rotating different things in and out of there. He is still in the room on the wall by the door. But that's just a little attitude one. You can all pause the video and try to read what the different things say. It's all about attitude, which is powerful. It's the one thing you should possess control over and be responsible for is your attitude. Your thoughts, words, and actions will flow from that. We got some movie score music going on in the background, and just talk briefly about faith. The batteries are getting low in this little light, so it's not as bright as it normally is. Kind of fluctuates, I noticed that. Anyway, in the readings today, one of the things we see is that Gentiles receive the Holy Spirit and are welcomed into the faith, which is still at this stage considered the Jewish faith plus belief that Jesus is the risen Lord and Son of God. So Peter and the other apostles, now including Paul, although we haven't heard much of him, still consider themselves faithful Jews. But before long, they will be considered Christians and not Jews anymore, even though they love their Jewish roots and do not knock their Judaism. They are going to go beyond it, and that's going to be tensions in the early church. In that first generation church, the question becomes, how Jewish ought we to be? And every group has its identity. We should be mindful of that. You know, if you're a group of tennis players, you show up to play tennis. You don't show up with hockey gear and equipment and expect to slap the hockey rules on your tennis club. So every group has its identity and their way of being in communion, and if they're fine with that, that's the way it goes. It's actually the same thing as a church. You know, my expectation of fellow Catholics is much different than my expectation of fellow Christians, than my expectations of spiritual people, than my expectation of agnostics or atheists. If you have a belief system, at least that gives me some idea what your attitude might be shaped by. You know, that's the real challenge of knowing somebody who's spiritual. So you don't know what their compass is because they're not claiming a bigger framework. They're claiming an individual and personal framework, which is unknown. I mean, religion gets knocked, but let's go beyond religion and just look at humanity. Humanity is the problem. We're all a bunch of sinful people that need grace, need to be transformed and reformed in our lives. A good spirituality, especially one fed by a healthy sense of religion, can do that for you. Let's change this song and see what else comes up next. What is this one? Victory. Battle Cry. I don't know where that's from. Anyway, that's just a distraction. What the heck? So the early church is going to have to decide, and we'll see that played out in Acts, how Jewish you have to be Christian. We're still going to follow the commandments of Moses. We're still going to honor Abraham and the prophets, and Moses and David. We're still going to treasure the Old Testament, but it will now be seen as the precursor to our scriptures, which are the New Testament. So that's one of the things you'll see. But every group has its right to determine their way of being. You know, I recently joined Locals and a couple of different communities on there. I'm thinking about starting my own on Locals, but I think you have to be an LLC, and I'm not and can't be one. So I think that's may lead to me closing it out and being stuck with Facebook and stuff. I mean, I'll still be on Locals in the communities I joined, but I don't think I can form my own community. And I hate Facebook. I don't believe they are completely amenable to my beliefs and thoughts, although they're a nice system and a good way to contact people and connect with people, and I love that. But for the most part, I'm back there begrudgingly and happy to connect with people, don't get me wrong. But the decisions that Facebook executives make don't excite me. And I'm not too crazy about Google, YouTube, or Apple. I feel they all have a bigger picture they're looking at that is not honest and truly open to free speech. But that's a whole nother thing. Anyway, love your communities and pray for them. God bless you. Bye.